Well, with us having everyone returning, of course, my expectations are very high. I thought we had a great finish last year. Started out very slow, and I felt like Elexer Tugler really stepped up for us as a point guard, and her game became our turning point in the season. And I feel like if we can continue to progress and continue to work hard, we have a chance to have a quality ball team.
What about the preseason polls? You a little surprised that y'all were picked as low as you were?
Well, I thought with having everyone back, we might be picked a little higher. But, I'm not real big on preseason picks. One year we were picked 8th and we won the conference. So, I'm using it as an incentive for us to work hard. And, we got a tough schedule, so that's good for us. But I feel like we're going to be better than that. But, you never underestimate anyone in this league, and that's always been the tough part about playing in the Sun Belt Conference. Is the top teams were not that the worst team in the conference beat the top team in the conference last year. So for me, I'm just using it as a tool to excite our players and make them work harder. But they know it's going to be tough, and they know every night we got to show up.
What about the excitement of having 2 players preseason all conference though? That's, I think, a good testament to what you have coming back.
Well, I'm very proud. That's the first time since we've been in the Sun Belt Conference that we have gotten 2. I think it says a lot for how hard they played and worked, and I thought it was very deserving. Ashley's battling a few injuries here and there. Peaches has come out, and I can't even tell you how hard she's working. But, our 5 return, we have everyone back. So those 5 starters, I just can't say enough about their leadership, their work ethic. Still got some growing up to do. Need to, the game has changed a lot from last year. We've got 28 new rules in. So it's not going to be a lot of contact. It's going to be a completely different game, and we've got to learn how to handle that. So, in our first 2 scrimmages, I didn't feel we did a great job of not fouling. But it's going to be interesting to see if we can handle that part of it. But I love the way our kids are practicing hard. I like the attitudes right now, and I think Ashley and Peaches have really stepped up their game.
Speaking of the rules changes, probably the biggest one is the 10-second rule being implemented on the women's side. How has the team embraced that with not having that in the past?
I really thought that was going to be a tough one for us. It's never been a factor. In both scrimmages, it was not a factor at all. It was a factor because we pressed for the other team, but it wasn't for us. The big factor is the no contact. They are now you can't put a hand on a player at all. So, our first 2 scrimmages, we had a lot of fouls. And I talked to the assignment secretary. She said there were over 60 called in the game. We had 54 Saturday fouls called. So I think we're going to have to learn how to play with our feet, and we've got to rotate correctly. So I think it's going to be the better defensive teams are going to be about rotation and containing. And we didn't do a great job on that in our last scrimmage, but offensively we're much stronger. So I feel good about that. But like I said, the 10-second backcourt, that's all I've been worried about, and it has not even been a factor. So I'm glad that part's not.
You mentioned last season that you felt like sometimes you couldn't really yell and scream at the ladies because, they might take it too hard. So now what's the adjustment like for you in terms of
I'm back to the old Mona Martin. No, last year we were fragile. I think we were beat down, and, we didn't know what to do. And my expectations were high for our team, and, I felt like we were going to be really special last year, and then a couple of circumstances and everything changes. But, again, I'm going to bring up Elexer Tugler and what she did for our team because, I think when her game changed, our whole team changed. And it wasn't just about her scoring. She got her scoring out of our offense, but I think it was just her talking more, her leadership skills, that kind of stuff. But I think our team, they want to win. I mean, right now, that's the most important thing to them. They don't want to end up like we did last year. And I think it's especially for these 4 seniors. I mean, this is this is like their last year. They know they want to go out champions. So they're playing hard. They're practicing hard. Even though we've struggled a little bit with the fouls, we'll figure that part out. That's something that can be fixed. So yeah, I'm real happy with our attitudes right now, and I like it that I'm able to coach because I felt like I was walking on eggshells last year, and I can't coach like that. I have to be me, and this year I'm getting to be me.
What would be a successful season for you, given where you guys were picked and given your expectations with what you have coming back?
Oh, I think we could win the conference if we stay healthy. I don't want to put that on the team right now, but I mean that's their goal also. They've set that as a goal. But the big key is to stay healthy. We've already had 2 major injuries. We have, we just got Whitney back. She was out for 10 practices, and so right now she's not a big factor because she practiced one day and then we had a scrimmage, and then she's practiced one other day. So, she's missed a lot of preseason. And then, of course, Ashley's missed 3 or 4 practices for upper body injury. So, we've got to stay healthy. I cannot afford to have that top 8 or 9 list. We need all of them, especially if we're going to press and play the type of game we're used to.
You talk about motivating your team by being picked middle of the pack, but how much more of a motivation is it on top of that with the way that the season ended last year with playing Middle Tennessee so close, and all those girls reminding themselves that they could stay close with the tournament type team, and then all those girls are back?
Well, I talked to them a lot about that because after we finished the tournament and we came home, Rick from Middle Tennessee called me, and of course I'd looked at the tape, he'd looked at the tape, and he told me, Mona, y'all had the game. Y'all won the game. Really, no ifs, ands, and about it. Y'all won the ball game. We got very lucky. And then we didn't really have much of after y'all, we kind of coasted through because actually their top player had an injury that she played through it, but she was not much of a factor. So, I've tried to use that also as motivation that we've got to carry on where we did. But I think we were on a mission last year, and we've got to get on that mission this year. And, you got to take them one game at a time. Of course, we're opening up with TCU. And, they're a strong team. They're very good, Big 12. So it's going to be a good challenge for us to see where we're at. I still am concerned about our fouling because, both our scrimmages we had a lot of fouls. But motivation-wise, I've used that Middle Tennessee game. We actually, the first meeting we had a pizza party, and that's what we watched. We watched the Middle Tennessee game. And I thought that was a good thing for us to look at and see what we did and what we've got to continue to do if we want to be successful.
With the new tighter calls on fouling and stuff, depth is going to be a major factor for you this year. So talk about some of the depth that you have from this team, especially with some of the newcomers.
We better have depth because we had everyone in foul trouble the other day. But I'm really excited about our signees. Of course, we have Whitney, who was here last year but didn't play, that came in. She's one that's been injured. I think when we get her healthy and get her back in shape, she's going to be a huge factor for us. 6 foot forward that can shoot the 3, can put it on the floor. She's a nice player. We signed 2 guards, both that can help immediately. Actually, one will be our 6th man off the bench, our first player off the bench, and that's Jade Horton. She's out of Delaware. Good shooter. Actually, was one of our top scorers in the scrimmage the other day. But she also brings something to the table in that she's talking all the time. She's motivating. I really like her attitude. And then we brought in a shooter from New Zealand, 3-point shooter, Alicia Coulter, and she's doing a great job out there. She's a tough kid. And then, of course, we call her Little Journey because she's only 5'4", out of St. Michael's High School, great high school program. And the first scrimmage, I was really, really impressed with her. She handled her own. Got a little rattled this last scrimmage, but I was really, really pleased with her the first game. And she's going to help us some this year. She's going to give Elexer, I want to call her Pumpkin, but Elexer that little time to take a break. And then, of course, we've got Jasmine Taylor, who's going to give us some time. We are very strong at the post position. We've got 6 post players, and all of them can contribute. Didn't finish well the other day, but dominating. They can be dominating when they play well. So we've got a lot of depth in the post. And I feel like now, this year, where last year I had like 4 guards, and I was trying to rotate them around, and basically I was playing 3 posts. We have a lot more depth at that position. And, Charnice had a great tournament. In the conference tournament, she really stepped up her game. So she's battling lower body injury. We can get her healthy. She might, she can help us too. So we got a lot of pluses going. But, again, the big key is we just got to stay healthy.